To finish up lesson 11.2, we're going to look at that z-score that I talked about at the end of the video for the first part of the lesson. A z-score is a formula that calculates how many standard deviations any data point is away from the mean. It can be positive or negative whether you're above or below that mean value. Here's our formula. Z equals x minus x with a bar on top divided by sigma. So x is any data point. X bar is our mean. And sigma is the standard deviation. And again, you'll get all those values. You simply just plug it into that fraction and simplify. Let's take a look at the example on the right. The annual per capita consumption of apples in the United States is normally distributed, oops, that's spelled incorrectly, sorry, there should be an I instead of an A, with a mean of 16 pounds and a standard deviation of 4 pounds. In part A, we'll create that normal curve. And again, if you don't have the note packet, just try to draw your curve as best you can on your paper, and that'll be just perfect. That'll be all we need. If the mean is 16 pounds, we'll put that right in the middle. And we'll add 4 to each dash mark on the right. And we'll subtract 4 for each dash mark on the left. 3 sigmas either way would go from 4 all the way up to 28. It says about what percent of households eat less than 24 pounds of apples per year? Well, if we're looking for less than, and it hits right on that dash mark, we'll be able to count up our percentages. So if we're over here, that would be 13.6, 34.1, another 34.1, 13.6, 2.2, and 0.1. So it would include everything to this side. I guess we don't want that little part right there. If we add all of those together, the percentage is going to be 97.7%. We can use the percentages from the original part of the normal curve when your value, whoops, I'm going to erase that, when your value lands right on one of those dash marks. However, we're not always going to have a data point that lies right there. Let's try the next example and we'll see how it works. In that next example, it says, find the z-score, so that'll tell us how many standard deviations we are away, if you only consume 22 pounds of apples. So now you're somewhere in here. Let's see how far we are away in terms of standard deviation. If x equals 22, and we know that our mean, our x bar is 16, and our sigma is 4, then our z-score is found simply by taking 22, which is our data point, minus 16 divided by 4. And that would equal 6 over 4, or 1.5. So we are 1.5 standard deviations away. That's what the z-score would tell you. If you're on the other side, you may have a negative answer. Find the z-score for a household that consumes only 11 pounds of apples annually. That means x equals 11. Your z-score then, if we take 11 minus 16 divided by 4, we get negative 5 over 4, or negative 1.25. That's how many standard deviations we are away from the mean. Now there's a way that you can determine the percentage at that point as well, but that's something that can be addressed in a statistics course. So that will actually do it for us for lesson 11.2.